All right, we're back with Crazy the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Look at me. Just look at that. Just look at that. Look at that red dot on my Let's go.
There is no reason why my 1 month bill should be $675 when the house is pitch black. When we talk about these data centers, there is no question that the reason why our bills are as high as they are is because you've got these multi-billion-dollar corporations, Meta, Amazon, who come into our communities, who take all of their money and use it, don't pay a dime in taxes, and this is why our bills are the way that they are. We are making all the concessions as consumers in terms of what we can do to lower our bill. Lights, no heat. We're going to bed at night. I go to bed at night with no heat on at all. I turn my heat off at night and get in the bed so that my heat doesn't run all night long. When will the elected officials, our local Prince George's County officials, take our fight to Annapolis and then take our fight to the governor, who will then take our fight to the feds? We know that multi-billion-dollar corporations don't pay a dime, and this is why we are suffering. Our quality of life is in the toilet because the people
Preach, brother.
have been elected to represent us. You guys are not doing your job. Too many people have died who have been hung and beaten to have a seat at the table, and now you've got 90% of black people running this government, and you guys are treating us the same way we would be treated if we were still back in Jim Crow and 50s. You're not doing your job in basketball.
Damn.
Do you know how much equity you have in your house today?
You don't find it odd that all of the stars, all of the planets, the sun and moon, and every single celestial body that we see in the universe all appear to simultaneously rotate around Polaris day in and day out, year in and year out?
I always did find that odd when I would look up and be like, dang, why is everything rotating around Polaris? It's weird.
Millennia after millennia, you don't find that odd? Because we're being told that all of the planets are actually orbiting the sun. But that's not what appears to happen when we simply look up at the sky. And here's the thing about ocean navigation. Did you know that if you dead reckon east or west, you actually end up going south? Why is that? That's because when you're navigating the seas, east or west, you have to constantly turn and keep adjusting north in order to circumnavigate properly. And why is that? That's because we don't live on a giant spinning ball with a north and south pole, but we live on an electromagnetic plane of inertia in some sort of simulation, like we're in Minecraft. And level is sea level. So when you're circumnavigating the ocean, you can keep going east to west or west to east, but you're just circumnavigating the center of the realm, the source of the magnetic field, which all compasses point to. If the source of the magnetic field was in the center of a globe, the compass would be spinning out of control constantly. It would have nothing to point towards because north would always be directly under you. So here's the thing, if you just go east or west, you will always end up going south. You have to keep adjusting north, and that's what true circumnavigation is. You can't.
哎，喂，你好，请问你们这里有卖那个枸杞吗？
什么？
啊，枸杞
啊，有啊。
有是吧？好好好，等一下我过来。
A cold G. My boy fluent.
我是刚刚打电话的那个，就那个枸杞。
10000元。
10000元是吧？好。
那你是什么？你是中午话说这么好？
我是 我是美国人。
哎呀，美国人，他的美国人也在中国话说的。刚才要口题的就他。啊，打电话了。哦。
对。
啊，对啊。那你的中国话太好了。
啊，没有。
那你是怎么学中国语了？
我就以前大学的时候学过，然后中国也去过1年，留学过1年。
Are you ready?
So I am lucky enough to say that I'm retiring tomorrow.
This
Tomorrow
video
is
crazy
my last
low.
day of my 10 years of working in a hospital, and I'm going to share with you some things that I really think you guys need to know as somebody who's been doing this a hot minute. My other video got kind of taken down, but I'm going to say it again. Do not put your name on the registry, okay? You can donate, share your life, absolutely, share your organs, but do not put your name on the donor registry.
Yeah, I actually, for selfish reasons, no, I don't know. On my license, I think they asked me at the DMV, and I was like, nah, keeping my guts.
On that video, so I'm gonna kind of stuff it in here and see if we can keep going and maybe it'll slide. They are trying to kill us with our food. They are. I'm sorry. I've been seeing 20-year-olds who are coming in with cardiac problems. It's not just the food, the energy drinks, the vaping, all of those things, guys. You know that they're testing the bread and the candies to see what kind of poison they're putting in it. And the reason they're putting poison in our food is because we have a for-profit healthcare system.
Attention all units, this is General Savat with another transmission at ease, soldiers. So as you know, we're currently at war. We're going to go live about what I'm about to discuss.
You ever notice something? Every cheap way to live is slowly disappearing, guys.
There were no planes flying that day. There's something in these chips. Definitely today. They put some extra stuff in it. Not only were there no planes flying that day, ask anybody on this planet, did you see those planes that day? They're all going to say yes. Okay, agree. I agree, yes. I did too. But ask them where and how did they see them? And every single person is going to say, on TV.
To the average person, I would say get your board in the water and prepare to paddle like all get out. The tsunami of a lifetime is coming, and nothing your elders have seen is going to prepare. There's no good advice to give that's specific. Let's put it this way. One of the things when people tell me about they're moving from one city to another.
Is this Weinstein?
I have a phrase that nobody likes, which is every place is over. Oh, I'm moving to Austin. Yeah, it's over. Miami, it's over. Nashville, over. You know, all these places are over. And every occupation that is named is over. I'm going to be a dentist, radiologist, accountant, teacher. These are all over. Whatever's coming, get flexible, get good.
Doom scroll indeed.
Good on a bunch of different stuff. Learn how to think across disciplines. I have no idea what's going to be left for us. But you know, somebody's going to come out on top. And I hate to tell people that you should try to come out on top. I don't think it's healthy to have everyone trying to be world class. I think you should be able to just have a life. I have a golden retriever. I don't know that it's the greatest golden retriever in the world. Sometimes I think it is, but he does a lot of dumb stuff. But he's my golden retriever. I just don't think it. I think that this mania for optimization, like if you look at your own videos, you'll find some of the best performing videos are, this is how to succeed. This is how to get anyone you want. This is how to get out of a bad situation. People just want capacity. But for what? Okay, you've optimized your day, you've optimized your health, your social media is optimized. Now what?
What are you going to do when they're all gone? Watch this.
I ultimately decided to leave because I realized I needed an easier job.
No matter what I try to do, it won't go through their heads.
I called a parent today and I said, just to let you know, your child has an F in my class because they come in and they don't do anything. And then they start screaming. She hung up.
Buddy, why'd you struggle on this quiz? What was hard about it? What was difficult? And they look me dead in my eyes and they say, I'll be honest, I didn't read the passage. What do you mean you didn't read the passage?
School districts are trying to run like companies with the numbers, and it's not the science.
Why are you talking like you're gonna cry?
Education.
Today I walked out of my job. I did.
I have 2 hours left of my school day and I'm leaving because I'm so stressed out. And the students' behavior, their lack of trying, their apathy for school, parents that don't give a shit.
I was getting so many questions after I had just explained my directions.
Take out your yellow notebooks, turn to page 14, and the kids just stare.
They're crying because they're getting blamed for literally any and everything that children are doing.
I spend 90% of my day managing kids' emotions.
What is this lady teaching, bro? Algebra? No. Look at that dreaded blackboard behind this woman. Ugh. I never made it out of algebra, bro. Look at that stuff, bro. Come on, son. Why? What? When?
90% of my day managing kids' emotions, helping to regulate them, managing outbursts and behaviors and tantrums.
I spend so much time managing behavior that sometimes I feel like I'm failing as an educator. I feel like I'm not doing the job that I was hired to do.
That was a 1 hour rabbit hole that I went down watching these videos and just feeling my heart rate go up. And I get DMs and emails from teachers all the time saying, do you have any words of wisdom? I've always wanted to be a teacher, but this job is not sustainable. Here's what my administration did. What should I do? I called home and this was the reaction I got from a parent. What should I do? I did X, Y, and Z in my class and none of the kids were paying attention. What should I do? I don't know.
If you had one wish for everything to be how you wanted it, what would that be?
Just, I guess the back cleaned up.
So y'all, that was my neighbor Josh, and that was my first time ever talking to him. And the reason for that is simply because I'm really not his next door neighbor. You see, I got this thing where I call everybody my neighbor, and sometimes my neighbors reach out and ask me for help. And this time, Josh's wife reached out to me on a text message, and she sent these pictures. So I went to their house, and they thought the only thing I was here to do was just clean up. But little did they know, I was about to get them a whole transformation.
Thing about hard work, y'all, only thing you gotta do is start. Before you know it, you'll be finished.
After cleaning up last week, I decided to come out and build him a brand new fence to replace the one that he had. Because to be honest, y'all, I can't even tell you how that fence was holding itself up. And I remember him telling me that his dog kept escaping. Therefore, I wanted to make sure he got something nice to where he ain't got to be rolling up and down the street.
Damn. Uncle John just out here hooking up free fences. It was free, Johnny?
In his wheelchair trying to catch a dog. But this the fence, y'all. And next week I'm coming back to build him a porch. So y'all stay tuned if you want to see me do that.
That's crazy, John.
Do you know who this woman is? Because I'm about to tell you, and then you're gonna wish that I didn't. This is Afua Ata-Mensah, and she is Zohran Mamdani's new Chief Equity Officer and Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Equity and Racial Justice. She's incredibly qualified for this position, as Mamdani puts.
Oh boy. Racial justice. 'Cause that's possible.
Because she has a background in racial justice organizing, Africana studies, and roles at Community Voices Heard and the Urban Justice Center. Well, Mamdani just unveiled a new plan that she's in charge of, and you'll never guess what it's for.
And while today's true cost of living measure confirms that the affordability crisis touches every corner of our city, we know that these effects are not applied evenly. So often, it is black and brown New Yorkers who are hit.
This guy's got a little bit of Kermit. He got a little bit of Kermit voice box going on.
This preliminary racial equity plan is the first step in developing a whole-of-government approach to tackling that reality. It is a plan that lays out these first steps to solve decades of neglect and discrimination, and it places the work of 45 city agencies within a singular framework.
Oh, good. It's government-mandated race-based policymaking that discriminates against a certain group of people because of their skin color. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what systemic issues they think they're fixing here. It's just a violation of the 1964 Civil Rights Act and the Equal Protection Clause under the 14th Amendment. But since Afua is Zoran's chief equity officer, she gets oversight permission and a say in how 45 different agencies hire people. Agencies such as housing, education, policing, health, budgeting, and workforce, among others. And she's going to decide who gets what based on their race. Frankly, I can't see how this would possibly go wrong, unless Afua, of course, has some sort of disdain or something against a certain class of people over a thing that they have no control over, but that couldn't possibly be the case, right?
Mamdani chief equity officer disparaged liberal white women in now deleted X posts, taxed them to the white meat.
Okay, so I posted a video about the moon last night. Within 2 hours, people on the other side of the planet were sending me this. Just absorb that for a moment. Seems totally normal, right? But think of it like 4 different people standing around a campfire. Except the campfire is the moon, and the 4 people are spread across the planet. So walk with me through this. 6:45 p.m., Florida looks up and sees the bright edge of the moon on the bottom, not the side, the bottom. 2 hours later, I walk outside of my house and I look to the western horizon and see the same thing, on the bottom. I've watched the sky my entire life. I took astronomy in college. I feel like I should remember something like that happening. I feel like I should have learned about something like that happening. I don't feel like that is in any way something I've ever seen my entire life with the crescent on the bottom. I've just never seen it like that once in my life. So I post the video.
No.
Then New Zealand shows up in my comments.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the crescent on the bottom. That's like my favorite moon because of the Cheshire cat from Alice in Wonderland. It looks like a smile.
First photo, timestamp 10:16 a.m. New Zealand time. That converts to mountain time. That photo was taken 2:16 in the afternoon. 4.5 hours before Florida even saw what was going on. That person hadn't seen my video yet. They had just looked up, saw the moon, thought it was odd, and took a picture. So that photo sat on their phone for about 4.5 hours before they saw my video and sent that to me. So I'm sitting in my bed at like 12:45 at night because I can't sleep because this is crazy. And a second New Zealand photo comes in, this time more recent. Like live, and it's high def. Take a look at it. Notice how the bright edge is on the left? Not the bottom like Florida and Utah, the left. Here's the simplest way I can explain how this matters and why this matters.
Please.
Imagine you're in a dark room.
I just want you guys to know that I'm never buying another Apple product again. You see this iPad here? It's practically brand new. I bought it years ago. It's 6th generation. I didn't use it. It was in my garage. But now that I've been reading more, I'm using this iPad. So I tried to download Kobo Reader from the Apple App Store. And it tells me that I can't download it because this iPad needs iOS 18.0. So I go to my settings because I have auto updates turned on and it says that I'm 17.7.1 and that I am up to date. So I don't understand how am I up to date when the latest update is 18. So then I looked it up and it seems that Apple didn't make the update for my 6th generation iPad. So basically over time, I will be able to use fewer and fewer apps from the Apple Store, making this product obsolete. Now, here's the thing that I want you to understand about Apple. In 2024, Apple made $93.7 billion in profit. That's almost $100 billion. And they're not willing to do what is required so that people can use their devices and...
All right, I know this is going to sound crazy, but just hear me out, okay? Does anyone else feel like our kids are going to school for no reason? Seriously. The world is changing so rapidly, let alone the chaos that's happening every single day that we could just everyone could just implode. But on a regular,
Yo, why are these TikToks so long, bro? Why is it showing me flipping movies? All right, that's enough for this one. Not my favorite. Not my best work. Only room for improvement, though, so like, subscribe, comment, see, tell me what's up. Yeah, bow.